Today we're going to be talking about 15 survival items and outdoor equipment that are useful, reliable, and perhaps most importantly, very affordable. Let's get to it. The first item I want to share with you is this heavy-duty emergency blanket from the Survive Outdoors Longer Company. Now, if you don't know what a Mylar blanket is, you're probably new to this channel. Also known as space blankets, it's a thin sheet of plastic which is coated with a metallic reflecting agent which actually reflects up to 97% of your body heat. Therefore, these are quite common in emergency first aid and survival kits. The problem with a lot of emergency blankets on the market is that they're paper thin and they're prone to tearing. And if you get a tear in the space blanket, that will reduce its ability to do its job, which is to contain and reflect heat. This particular product is a much thicker, more durable material, meaning that you don't have to worry about it being punctured by sticks and stones on the ground, and its increased thickness is also going to enhance its thermal reflective properties. You can use this item as a blanket or for making shelters. For the price that you pay, it's really a good thing to have in any emergency kit. Up next is an item that I never thought would end up on a list of affordable survival gear, and that's the Powerfilm 10-watt foldable solar panel. But the price on these has been reduced significantly, so that's why I'm including it in the list. This is an incredibly thin, lightweight solar panel, which is fully flexible, works excellent in low light, will still function even if punctured or filled full of holes, and to give you some perspective, the main client of Powerfilm is the US military. This is a satisfactory amount of power for small electronics like your smartphone, GPS, or flashlights. You can even trickle charge a 12-volt battery. I'm going to post a link where you can get one of these for $50, which is a huge saving considering when I bought my Powerfilm 10-watt panels about 10 years ago now, they cost me in excess of $150. So get one of these while you can. Up next is a classic in this field, and that's the Yuko candle lantern. This is a great device for area lighting and for generating small amounts of heat. Now, in addition to this being popular with the traditionalist minimalists who don't like technology, the benefits of something like this over an electronic lantern is that this is actually going to generate a significant amount of heat. In a survival situation, in a properly made shelter lined with thermal reflective material, you would be amazed at how much of a difference in temperature one candle lantern can make. Underneath the candle there's a spring, so as the candle burns and melts, it's going to be constantly pushed up so you get a smooth continuous burn. This is also compatible with Yuko beeswax candles, which actually burn even longer at 12 hours. Up next is the SOL Emergency Bivy Sack. Now this is also a space blanket with a thermal reflective liner, only this is in a sleeping bag configuration. This is not going to be as heavy duty as the heavy duty blanket I mentioned earlier, but this is going to keep you a lot warmer because you're going to be fully enclosed within it. These bivy sacks are very affordable, they're very lightweight, and absolutely can be a lifesaver, especially in a winter survival situation. This is something that you absolutely can't go wrong having inside your vehicle's glove compartment. However, they're no replacement for a good quality sleeping bag. Up next are two very affordable lightweight pull saws. Now, I've done many reviews of different Silky Saws on this channel. This is amongst the most affordable, and there's one which is offered in large teeth and fine teeth. The large teeth version is for softer woods. The fine teeth version is for harder woods. Just like a hacksaw has really fine teeth in order to cut metal, basically the more teeth per inch you have, the harder the material you can cut. Most of the woods that I'd be harvesting here in the boreal forest are going to be softwoods or softer hardwoods like birch. Now, as it is a more lightweight and affordable option, it's not going to be Silky's most durable saw. If you want something that's more durable and more capable, check out the Pocket Boy or Zubat lines. But these razor sharp teeth are going to make quick work of any log even up to 8 inches in diameter, and the very ergonomic handle minimizes muscle strain. It's also small and lightweight enough that you can put it in your pocket. Up next is the Titan Stormproof Match. If you cannot light a fire with a Titan Stormproof Match, you may as well just give up, because this is the only match on the market, as far as I know, that actually burns after being submerged in either water or snow. They also have a 25-second burn time, so you have ample time to ignite your tinder. Now, in ideal conditions, you're going to use other methods of fire starting. This is for a worst case scenario, but it's great to have. A very affordable fire tinder that you can buy is the Fire Plugs by ProCamTech. Now, we sell these at Canadian Preparedness. They're branded with my name, but it's manufactured by ProCamTech. They make a variety of different fire starting tools. Now, this is not a plug for my store, no pun intended. You can buy it actually from a variety of different places, but it really is an affordable fire starter considering how many of these plugs you get for the price you pay. It's a lot of tinder that you're getting for a very low price, and it works incredibly well. All it takes is one little spark, as you can see with the sparky igniter that I'm using here, and that stuff just goes up in flames real quick. Up next is one of my personal favorite fire starters. It's the waxwood stick. Normally in a survival situation, I'm gonna find some fat wood in the forest, but this is the next best thing. In fact, it's a lot better than fat wood. As you can see here, this stuff carves like butter, and I'm using a Light My Fire knife that I'm going to talk about in a bit to cut this. A great little knife which has its own ferrocerium rod in the handle, and this stuff goes up real quick. It's very dense. Depending on how conservative you are with it, you can get a lot of fires out of one stick. A Light My Fire knife with the ferrocerium rod handle insert and some waxwood to match is an excellent gift for any bushcraft enthusiast. This is not meant to be a survival knife or a good all-around knife. This really is a good knife for shaving tinder, striking your ferrocerium rod, but it comes razor sharp out of the box, so you could do some whittling with it and some small camp tasks, but I certainly wouldn't consider it a survival knife. For an affordable, pocketable, USB rechargeable, and respectively bright flashlight, I would go with the Streamlight Microstream. This has been my EDC flashlight for almost 6 months. It's so lightweight that you'll barely notice it in your pockets. It has a slightly larger diameter than a pen. As you can see on this one, the paint is starting to fade, but that's just cosmetic. It's a great reliable light that I would strongly recommend. This next item would be a great stocking stuffer for any prepper or survivalist, and that's the Astronaut Ice Cream Sandwich. This is a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich, meaning 99% of the moisture has been taken out of it. You don't rehydrate it with water, you simply eat it as is, and I can tell you they are absolutely delicious. So just because you're out in the backwoods doesn't mean you can't enjoy some ice cream. And because it's freeze-dried food, it means it's gonna last a long time. Who says that you can't have nice things in the apocalypse? Now up next is a classic. It's a very low cost item, makes an excellent gift. It's a Rite in the Rain notepad. As the name indicates, it's waterproof paper. If you're taking notes, if you're using it for navigational purposes, rationing supplies, journaling, leaving notes and signals for a rescue team, but more practically, this is something I use for EDC. Normal notepads won't stand up to an active lifestyle. And of course, paper is going to double as a tinder to light fires, so you're always going to have a use for this in your survival kit. Up next is a very affordable shovel. This is the cold steel Spetsnaz shovel, modeled after a very popular Russian military shovel. This is a rock-solid shovel at an incredibly low price point. It doesn't have the gadgetry and versatility of some of the other shovels that I've reviewed on this channel, but it also does double as a hatchet, and it actually does a decent job at de-limbing trees. It definitely has some chopping potential, but it's going to take you a lot of energy. It's not nearly as good as an actual hatchet or an axe, but it does have very sharp edges, and as such it can be used for self-defense purposes as well. Now the only downside of this shovel is that it's heavier than most shovels in this class, but in terms of the price to durability ratio, you're not going to find a better one on the market. Now there's several low-cost survival knife options that will do the job for you just fine. The HUltafors OK4 is one of those. It has a really nice ergonomic rubberized grip, it's full tang, it's carbon steel, it's dirt cheap, so be reasonable with your expectations, but this is a great little knife for all-around camp tasks, and if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. It has a coating on it for protection against corrosion. It is very similar in quality and price to the Mora Companion, which is also a great option. Now up next is the Sport Utility Blanket from SOL. So like the heavy duty blanket that I demonstrated earlier, this is also a very rugged space blanket with the added feature that it has grommets and that it has a high visibility orange reflective exterior. This is a true survival blanket. If you don't want to be attracting too much attention to yourself in what you're doing out there in the bush, then obviously you're going to want to go with the heavy duty blanket because that has a green color which blends into the environment. But in a wilderness survival situation, this high vis color is ideal. Up next is something in a similar vein, and this is the heat reflective poncho by the same company. Now Survival Lily used one of these back in June, and she actually found that it worked quite well. It not only acts as a rain jacket, but of course it also helps you keep the heat in so you don't become hypothermic. It takes up very little space, it's very cost effective, and it's absolutely worth its extremely light weight. Now this is the last Mylar blanket I'm going to talk about, and this is one from Titan Survival, and the only reason why I'm throwing it in here is because once again it's very cheap and it has a camo exterior. So some people want those thermal reflective properties, but they also want concealment. Then this is the space blanket for you. However, it's not nearly as durable as that heavy duty one that I showed you at the beginning. Now this next item is a Magnesium Ferro Rod combination. What I like a lot about the Magnesium Ferro Rod combos is that it's going to be much easier to start a fire because the ferro rod ignites the magnesium, and you have a lot of magnesium as you can see on this one here. So you have a lot of potential fires that you can make with this item. If you struggle with a ferro rod, the magnesium can make it a lot easier. I'm demonstrating this striker on something called Fat Rope, which is also made by the Pro Camp Tech company. I've done videos on Fat Rope before. I think it's probably one of the best fire starters out there next to the waxwood stick, so you can go check those out. Now this last item, I just thought I would throw it in because I did the demonstration. I've reviewed it on the channel before. The problem is these are hard to find, but an emergency flare like this is a very low cost, multi-purpose tool to have in your survival kit. It can be used for signaling, personal protection, and fire starting. Now don't confuse this flare that you see here with a standard road flare. Two entirely different things. This particular flare is called the bear flare because it burns much brighter than a normal road flare. This burns at a very high heat, it burns very bright, and it makes a very loud sound, and it also of course gives off smoke. The purpose of this flare is to scare the bear, giving you enough time to get out of the situation. It only has a 1 minute burn time. Hopefully it's enough to put some safe distance between you and the animal. I personally would pair this with bear spray and any other means of defense that you are legally able to carry to protect yourself against those types of predators in the wilderness. I'll provide links to these items and associated videos in the description section below. Let me know in the comments section if there is gear that you would like me to review on the channel or gear that you yourself would recommend. Thanks for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Canadian Prepper out. The best way to support this channel is by gearing up through CanadianPreparedness.com. We got high quality gear, and I mean high quality gear only. There are free shipping options, and my subscribers get an exclusive discount of 10% off. Use coupon code SURVIVALPREPPER in all caps, one word, at the checkout. Thanks for your support.